Surprise! Starting real quick. I probably won't be streaming for very long. I also... It was a bad time to heat up... My friend who was visiting out of town, she has since gone back. She made something called butter mochi for me and some other friends. And it's been a few days since she gave it to me, so I went to go heat it up in the air fryer, but it's green tea butter mochi, so it shouldn't be like that out of the ordinary, but there were some slight dark spots on it, like dark green, that could be just like not melted matcha powder, but part of me wonders if maybe it's gone bad, but I guess I decided to risk it and eat it. It was a bad time to reheat it because I thought I would reheat it and eat it before I had to start stream, but it took longer than I expected to heat up. That's pretty good though. I've been eating like a fucking pig today. I've been eating non-stop, which I don't know why. But I've actually had a lot of carbs, specifically Korean rice cake. I had a big serving of Korean rice cakes for lunch, which tasted good, but there was like barely a hint of like anything like good, like protein in it, so whatever. Do they have specific crunchiness to them? The butter mochi does not have any crunchiness to it. It is soft. Because it's I'm pretty sure the main ingredients to this butter mochi is like butter and flour. It's all mushy. And here. It's pretty good though. It heated up pretty well in the air fry. I was gonna try to finish it, but instead of a big brick of mochi, so it's good to try to draw something. So my fault on not streaming. Before I realized it, it had been almost like 3 weeks of not streaming, I think. In my defense, I'd just been a little bit preoccupied with things like Pokopia and well, a lot of Pokopia. But I've also I think I had said this the last time I streamed though. I've been playing a lot of Pokopia, and I've also been playing I've been replaying Professor Layton. Hang on, I need to get rid of the starting soon. Get out of here. I haven't been coping with work. Ugh. Don't even get me started with work. Fucking every day I work at at the company I work at. The more they make me utilize AI for everything. It's been a struggle. It's been a struggle because it's stuff that I just wish I didn't have to do, but it's not necessarily like doing the AI is gonna make me lose my job. In fact, they're relying on me a lot for the AI stuff because I fucking... Anyway. So, besides that, I have been playing a lot of Pokopia, which, in theory, I could have... I'm trying to remember what pencil tool I usually use for drawing. I was going through some old drawings. Sorry. Some of the butter mochi caught in my throat. But, I could have played Pokopia instead of drawing, but Pokopia, at this point in the game, it's become something that I just kind of, like, turn my brain off to play. Excuse me. It wouldn't have made for a particularly entertaining stream. Because there's a lot of me running back and forth shuffling things, building homes, and cleaning up things. So I have to draw because it's been a minute since I've drawn anything. And I've been playing replaying the Professor Layton games, which I was playing it on like obviously the original Professor Layton games were on the DS, so I've been playing that for a bit. I've been enjoying myself with that. It was a good enough time, and then it was time to shift over to the 3DS. And in my head, I thought the 3DS games had been like, I thought the 3DS games didn't physically come out, so I thought I had them digitally. But then after like having not booted up my 3DS in a while, I finally booted it up. And I saw that there was no Professor Layton games on my 3DS. I was like, huh? There's no digital like copy of the games on my 3DS. And I was like, wait, where's the game? Because then when I was looking through all the physical games that I had in my storage bin, I saw that I didn't have any 3DS games for the Professor Layton games. I only had it for the DS games, and then the one 3DS game that has a girl. The Professor Layton's, like, I think it was his daughter, if I remember correctly. That one spin-off game that came out at the last one that came out. That was whatever. And I was like, wait, so if those games came out, if those games came out, like, if I don't have them digitally, then I must have had them physically. And I was like, wait, where are the games then? And I was looking through all of the bins that I had, and I was like, I can't find the games. And I was like, wait, did I like lose them somewhere at some point? Because I'm pretty sure I never replayed the 3DS games. So I think I played them last when I was in college. That's when they first came out. So it had been possible that like it's been like I've moved twice since then. And I was like, wait, if I didn't have them now, when would I have lost them or left them behind? I was like, well, I hope I didn't like throw them out by accident or something, or like they got lost when I first moved out, whatever. So I initially asked my sister if she had ever seen the games, because she's still living at the place that I lived 2 homes ago. This is when I was still living with my parents and my sister. She was like, no, I haven't seen those games. And I was like, oh no, where could they be? And then in my head, I was like racking my brain. I was like, it's not in any of the bins. And I'm usually pretty thorough with going through my stuff, because then like there's no reason for me to like specifically have those 2 games like out somewhere. They wouldn't, and it wouldn't make sense that they wouldn't be with my like all my games. So I was like, wait, I don't have like them here. I was like, oh no, did I like lend them to someone? There was like a friend who I could have potentially lent them to at one point in my life, but I hadn't seen him in so long. I was like, no, this can't be. Like, did I lend it to him and I never got it back from him? Like, I hope not. This is gonna be such a stupid thing to ask him for. I did end up asking him, and he said that he's never played a 3DS game, so he wouldn't have had it. And I was like, oh fuck. My only saving grace was that I was gonna go back to my old place where I live with my parents and check and like rummage through some of the stuff there and see if maybe it's like hidden in some of the like my sister's like media cabinet where she keeps a lot of her old like movies and games and stuff. I was like, oh god, maybe it's there. So then like over the weekend on our day, I went out to go have breakfast with my family who had been in China for like the past month and a half. They just came back, so I went to go have like breakfast with them, and then afterwards I went to my old place, my parents' old place rather, and I was like rummaging through things, and I was like, I can't find it. I'm like looking thoroughly through the multiple cabinets, multiple like cubby drawers, under the couch. I snuck a peek in my sister's room. I was like, maybe it's like under the dresser in my sister's room that's never been moved since like I left and everything. I was like, anywhere? It's like I'm checking through all the cracks, like nooks and crannies, and I'm like, did I really lose these games? Because before I had stopped by my parents' place, old place, I looked up online to see like how much it would cost to get them replaced, and I was like, I saw on eBay that someone was selling the bundle for like $200, and I was like, oh my god, I have to spend $200 to get them. And then it was like suggested to me that I could like emulate them or something like that. I'm like, I want the physical game, but at the same time, I'm like, oh my god, $200 for a 3DS game is crazy. And I was about to like give up on life. A little dramatic, but I was ready to just resign and just get ready to lose my $200. So then as a last like Hail Mary, I looked in there's a closet that had a lot of my sister's old stuff. And at one point, I had stored some of my stuff in there too. And I saw there was a box on the floor. And the box was a box that I had brought home that I packed stuff with that was from my old company, because it had my old company's logos on it. And I was like, wait, that's that company's logo. Like, only I would pack anything in there. And I was like, could it be? So I pulled the box out of the closet, and basically I found it there, along with other games, and all like a bunch of old sketchbooks that I had. And I was like, oh my god, I left stuff here since I moved 2 times ago. I never took them. Either I forgot, or I just in my head figured like, I can go grab these next time whenever, like, assuming that they would ever move out of here, I'll grab it then. I had like some of my old stuff there. And then I also had some old posters back when Nintendo would give away like physical goods with platinum points and stuff. I have some Legend of Zelda posters and stuff from Link Between Worlds. I'd completely forgotten that was a game. I'd forgotten that I had that game, and I was like, oh shit! A lot of my old 3DS games were in there. It was confusing because on my persons, I already had like some of my 3DS games. I had my Animal Crossing New Leaf. I had Fire Emblem Fates. But that's because I had this. It was a special edition box. I guess Animal Crossing was also special edition because that was the Happy Home Designer wrote that. Anyway, I had some of the 3DS games with me, but not all of them. And I was like, oh my god, this shows that I haven't played my 3DS in a very long time. But anyway, I gave a call to my uncle who I was having breakfast with. He was still in the area. My family was like buying groceries and stuff. And then I gave a call and I was like, yo, can you please help me take this home? Like, drive me home with this box and stuff? Because, like, you know, he drives, so it's the perfect opportunity. I can have someone help me take this home. And so I did. And then, like, I went through all the stuff, and I'm like, wow, look at these old sketchbooks. I used to draw a lot back in the day. And I was like, wow, this was like old art style. I'm not showing you it. In fact, I might have honestly thrown out like most of them because I was like, man, this shit is cringy. I might have kept like one. I think I kept like a small little moleskin notebook that I had. But like the big ones, I was like, nope, I'm not saving these. No one needs to see them. No one needs to remember them. Oh, I did find the original, my original copies or the original sheets of there was a comic I did a long time ago. I featured like a wolf and a bunny or something. It was originally something I posted on DeviantArt. I don't remember if it ever left DeviantArt. It might have gone on Tumblr at one point, but I still had the original drawings of it that I still distinctly remember doing in I think it was actually something that I had done because my fashion design teacher from high school had suggested that I enter a contest or something with it, I think. I don't remember if it was a contest. It was something. I entered it for something. It wouldn't make sense to do it for a fashion design class because it's not fashion related. But I distinctly remember that teacher doing it. Oh my god, going through my old high school yearbook too? Yo, the high school yearbook is the true definition of graphic design is my passion ass shit because it looks so bad. So bad. Who the fuck? I was in my head. I was like, who the fuck was the yearbook editor for this? I wish I could go back in time so I could do it because this shit is butt. It's so ugly. My picture was also ugly, but that's like neither here nor there. That's not important. Why are artists so pain about their past styles? Because back then you don't think it's cringe, and then after some time you look at it, it's cringe. It's like looking at your old like photos from like when you were in your youth and you thought you knew better. When you got like when you, I don't know, dyed your hair like What's the hairstyle back then? The icy blonde? Or when you wore really baggy jeans? Or when you wore really baggy clothes? Or when you wore skinny jeans? Not skinny jeans, low riding jeans? I forgot what you call them. So it's just, you know, you look back on certain things and you just can't help but cringe about it. And I don't want anyone to see that ever again. If you're gonna see anything of my old, like, in terms of my art style, you look at the things that I drew maybe like 4 or 5 years ago, not fucking like 20 years ago. No thank you. Was it that old? How old am I? 30... Oh, I thought I was 36 for a second. It's because it's 2026. Maybe not 20 years ago. Close though. Maybe like 16, 18 years ago. It's pretty old. Is it nice to reflect how much have you developed? The only thing it made me do was kind of cringe at how, like, old and ugly it was, but also, it also made me, like, sad about how I used to draw so much on paper. How I felt okay drawing on paper. Now I'm all digital. And even then, I still don't draw anymore. Games are so bad. You know, you got the old people on Fox News saying that video games are bad for the kids and the youth because they entice violence or something. For me, video games are bad because they take up all my time, because all I want to do is build homes for Pokemon and organize them in a way where everyone gets to live with their evolution ranks, or whatever you call them. I don't know. And it's just trying to figure out how to fit. That's something about Pokopia that drives me insane. Look, no one said the rules that you have to house all your Pokemon in a specific manner. Like, not all the Pikachu evolutions need to live in one house. Not all of the starter Pokemons need to live in one house, and not all of, like, the, you know, there's no rules to how you should have your Pokemons living inside the homes that you build. But if I want to organize them and have all of the evolutions of Jigglypuff situated in one house, I can technically do it. But the problem is, most houses that you build on your own, you could fit max 4 Pokemon. And most of the evolutions, like their full evolutions that are in the game, are fucking 3 Pokemon. So then you can have all these, you can have these, these 3 evolution, like, Pokemon living in one house, but then you have an extra space. And it's like, what do I do with that extra space? Like, yeah, you can find a Pokemon who maybe doesn't have an evolution. There's no evolution with them. Or they don't evolve into anything, or they don't evolve from anything. But trying to juggle, like, all these houses and all that stuff, that's one of the things that's killing me in the game right now. Because I care too much about where my Pokemon live. And then, like, there's one area where you can find a Pikachu, and then there's another area, but then in a different area, you end up finding a Raichu, and it's like, am I gonna drag the Raichu over from this one area to another area? Technically, you can, but at that point, I'm gonna be bringing all the Pokemon into the first area that we unlocked, and I'm like, I gotta divide it up much more evenly. I can't have everyone living in the main area. I can move it the other way, but I'm like, well, this Pokemon came from this area, like, they're, like, story-driven, and I'm like, okay. Anyway, Pokopia, I imagine soon enough I will stop being so obsessed over Pokopia and I will have my life again. But I have unfortunately sunk over 100 hours into Pokopia. And even right now, I wish I was playing Pokopia. But but to be honest, it's also been nice to draw, because it's been so long since I've drawn. The last time I drew was on the iPad, because I had decided to bust out my old iPad since I hadn't, like, used it all that much since buying it, which I apparently bought it in, like, 2018. And I have barely used that thing. That thing had been so unused for so long that the leather casing, the insides have started to, like, flake and deteriorate. So I was like, you know what? I kind of feel like I'm gonna be using this at some point, even if I might abandon it again. But I'm gonna get myself a plastic case for this, so that if it starts breaking apart, at least it doesn't flake. But I forgot how annoying it was to charge the Apple Pencil, because the model of iPad that I have, which is crazy, because back when I bought it, it was still just called the iPad Pro. There weren't generations. So when I was trying to look up the case for it, I was like, how do I look up a case for an iPad Pro without knowing what generation it came from? I had to look for the actual, like, it's not serial number. It's like a product ID or something like that. I had to look for it, like, with that instead of saying, like, oh, Gen 2, Gen 3. It's the original gen. I was like, oh my god. This shit fucking old. Even if I'm sure they knew that they were definitely gonna make more generations, the fact that you didn't even name it with any generation tag, it's like, damn, this shit was like, you know, at least you know it's probably good quality, and it'll last for a while, but I don't know. I just wanted to draw on the iPad again and see what it was like. There's a huge learning curve to it though, because it's a very with some of the brushes, it helps guide you. It helps you make smooth lines and stuff, which is very handy for like post. What would you call it? Post processing. Like, so if lines you want them to be smoother and straighter or something like that, it'll do it. But I don't know. There's a lot to work with, and it also doesn't help that like with the Apple Pencil, you can't like flip the pen. You can't flip it upside down to use an eraser or something. You have to actually hit the eraser. So that's like it's just a hurdle. It's a lot that you have to get used to. But I know there's some people that solely use like iPads to draw stuff. Although I don't know how often they're doing it to draw like anime girls. I didn't really notice much of a difference. The only one that I put on Blue Sky that I did via iPad was that last drawing that I did, where I mentioned iPad. I don't think I've ever posted anything on Blue Sky from my iPad. The last drawings that I saw on my iPad were drawings that I remember posting on Twitter. But yeah, it had been a minute. In fact, I think the last drawing that I saw on my iPad, or one of the last drawings I did was some time ago when Chris commissioned me to draw him, Dag, and 𝓻𝓮𝓿 for some Pokemon series that they did on Visnomatic. And I was like, damn, I did this on the iPad? That's crazy. But then I had a very vague memory of, bringing the iPad to the office once. And then when the time came that everyone left for the day, I was in the office slacking off and working on the commission with it instead. But it's nice. I'd like to make more use of it, to draw a little bit more, but right now I can't be bothered with that because I'm too busy with Pokopia. Soon I'll have my life back, and then I could maybe play some of the other games that I have to play. I have to go back to Paranormicite. I still have games on Steam that I need to go. I'm still in the process of playing Professor Layton, which I'd forgotten. I kind of forgot how I haven't been playing it too long. But the Professor Layton games on the 3DS, I forgot how much I didn't really care for the change in the art style direction. Well, the art style direction is okay. But once you transition from 2D to 3D, it feels like the pacing of everything just becomes a lot slower because you just have to wait for a lot of the animations to move, and they do a lot of extra things. Whereas, like, with 2D, the most you're getting is maybe, like, mouth movement and, like, a hand going up. But with 3D, you got the whole gamut of animations where people are, like, blinking and, like, flailing around and making all this extra movement. So it just takes a longer time for them to get through the dialogue and stuff. And also, they changed the voice actors in the 3D Professor Layton game. So they all sound slightly different, and me don't like it. Me like it. I will say though, and I'm pretty sure, and I'm fairly certain I felt different about it when I was younger. But the 3D effect on the 3DS is actually like pretty poggers. I was like, as I was playing the Professor Layton and watching like the cutscenes and all the things and stuff, when I used the 3D, I was like, oh wow, this is actually, it looks really cool. Like, having the background, like, be a different layer, and then things are shifting, and then it's like you could see the actual, like, the separation. I'm like, damn, this is fucking fire. But I remember when I was younger and trying to play it with the 3D on, it would hurt my eyes. And it still kind of strained my eyes a little bit, but not as bad as I remember in my youth, so I guess that probably means my eyesight's getting worse. Which, you know, if I can enjoy the 3D, I mean, why not? It's pretty cool. I definitely appreciate a lot more now that I'm like old and becoming decrepit. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun going back into the old things that you haven't like really like touched in a while. Wax nostalgia. I feel nostalgic. It'll take a while to go through the Professor Layton games with the 2 3DS ones, and then I had forgotten about the Phoenix Wright and Professor Layton crossover game because I saw that I had the game for that before I had found my missing ones, and I was like, oh right, I forgot that this was a game. I could play that while I patiently. This was before I found my other Professor Layton games, the 3DS games. So I thought I can like play this while maybe magically my Professor Layton 3DS games will show up somewhere. But I forgot how to play that. It's been I don't know like I've ever. I think I've only ever played that game once. I need to replay that. The 3DS games I don't think I've ever replayed more than once. Whereas like with the DS games I played more at least 3 times I think. I still need to do my right nostalgia jump by playing the Edward Case 2. You mean the second Miles Edward game? For me, I still need to play that too. There's too many games I need to play. If only I fucking could stream more frequently. It wasn't being a bitch. I could just play more of these things on stream, man. I tell myself like, yeah, I can stream, but then I just end up playing Pokopia and just sitting on my fat ass. I mean, I sit on my fat ass when I stream still, but like, boy howdy, I should care a little bit more. But at the same time, I think, actually, wait, what was I gonna say? I guess I was gonna say something about how today they had talked about, I don't know if it was today, but someone on the private Vizno chat had linked about how, Twitch is, you're automatically enrolled to, like, let Twitch, like, learn from you for generative AI purposes and stuff like that, which you can opt out of, but you have to manually opt out of it, or otherwise you're automatically opted into it, but I've opted out of it, but at the same time, I'm like, there's no escaping this fucking AI shit. Like, now that I'm stuck doing it at work and how reliant everyone's using it, like, oh my god. Chalked. Chalked, I say. Shit is so chalked. All in all, just being a creator in general is just a rough time. And this doesn't affect me personally because I was never gonna reach that threshold with the way it is, but like YouTube has changed its partner program requirements that you have to reach in order for you to make money from it now. I kind of remember I actually don't remember what the changes were. Something to do with the amount of views you get for like shorts and stuff, which already initially when they released shorts, it was like an obnoxious amount of views you had to get, like a minimum requirement. You had to get like, I think it was like 10 million views or something. Crazy amount. In order to be eligible for the partner program. I can understand, like, you know, needing a certain amount of hours, like, watched and amount of subscribers. But for your shorts to be at, like, in the millions is kind of bonkers. But I guess with the way that shorts are pushed, for some, it's probably easy to reach. I was just like, not for me. Like, I got decent views on my shorts when I was making them, but, like, the thought of making enough shorts that can get millions of views, it's like in total would be is egregious. Anyway, I don't know. Content creating has become like, I'd say it's still a hobby, but it's also become like a very much like a passing by hobby. It's not something that really takes over my life in any capacity now. I try to do, like, when it comes to streaming, I still try to do it once a week if schedule permits. But the inability to dedicate myself more to it, it's become just like, with every passing day, I'm like, why even bother? Right? But I know that there's like still like at least like, you know, a person or two that'll check out my stuff. So a lot of times that's the reason why I just end up like doing it, because I'm like, I know someone will watch it, surely. It's funny with when I did my stream for my Japan-Korea trip when I came back. Obviously, most of the time when I stream it, for that instance when I streamed it, I was like, it's for people, it's for me to talk about it to people, and also for me, for my own memories, because I know I'm gonna forget stuff, because it's already been like, what? It's been a month now, and I've forgotten everything at this point. But when I was hanging out with my friends, one of my friends, the one that was visiting, was mentioning that she had watched the stream because she wanted to hear about it, and I was like, oh god, you watched my stream? Did I say anything bad? It's gonna be mad rude. It's gonna be mad awkward if I said anything about our friends, about our mutual friends. I was like, oh no. But hang on, let me answer my friend. Sorry, I asked my friend who made me the butter mochi about, like, you know, you think your butter mochi would have gone bad in 5 to 6 days? And she was like, can I see a picture? So I'm sending her a picture of an empty bowl. But yeah. I'm hoping that, like, even though, you know, it's going against all the Japanese fortunes that I had gotten during my trip about how I shouldn't be traveling. My friend, my best friend and I had thrown her the idea that maybe next year we can go on a trip together, because I haven't been on a trip with her in a very long time. The last time I went on a trip with her, that wasn't like me visiting her, because she didn't go anywhere. I think the last time we went on a trip might have been like when we were in college. I had gone like to Disney with her and her partner and another friend. That was so long ago though. Any preliminary ideas? We were thinking of going to Seattle, because I had never been and she has never been. But I wanted to go to like the north, like northwest, because I know that they have really nice weather, or like weather that's more suited for my my heat sensitive ass. Plus, it sounds like they could have good food there, like some chowder. And I know based on like Brutal Moose's video on it, he has some good Cosmic Crisp apples. Even though we get them here now, but like, you know, that's where they originated from, so that'd be cool. You go to Pike's Place and just check out whatever food option things there are. Fortunately, my best friend is a type that can plan an itinerary, so I'm gonna rely on her to do it, because I can't fucking do shit. Even though, although I told myself that if I ever plan a trip to go to Japan again, I'm definitely gonna make a concerted effort to figure out where to go, because, like I said in the stream when I talked about my trip to Asia, the reason why it wasn't a 10 out of 10, aside from me menstruating my ass off, was a lot of it was shopping for things that I didn't care about. Or rather, it was a lot of shopping which I didn't care too much about, so. But that's of no fault but my own. So I have to, if I'm gonna do it again in the future, then I need to make sure I'm doing things that I actually can care about. But according to the fortune, I shouldn't be going anywhere. And honestly, with the economy the way it is and the world the way it is, I feel like traveling to Japan again should be the least of my concerns. As much as my mom wants me to take her. Sorry, Mom. The Japan gods have told me I shouldn't travel. I'll use that as my excuse. Maybe the time when I go to Japan, it'll be the time when the person that's gonna show up late for me, according to my fortunes, maybe when they show up, then I could go to Japan. They'll be like, oh, okay, this person that they said was gonna be late is finally here, so that means enough time has passed by. Surely I'll be good now. Why not visit the chill Finland? I don't think there's anything in Finland particularly that I would... What does Finland have that would intrigue a person who has never thought about Finland? I know you guys, your food is, like, no offense, like, mediocre compared to, like, what I'm usually accustomed to. I've never been to... I don't think there's any really European countries that I have ever cared to, like, visit, to be honest. Nature stuff... You know what? Fair. You guys... I have, like... I remember seeing the pictures of stuff that, what's their names? Chris and Ash shared when they went to... Wherever they went. Copenhagen? I forget where they went now. For some reason I was gonna say Denmark, but I don't know if that was Denmark. Unless Copenhagen is in Denmark, but I also don't remember anything. I'm really bad at remembering things. But... Yeah, you guys probably have nice, neat... Copenhagen is Denmark. Okay. So I wasn't crazy. But yeah. You guys do have, like, nice, like, scenery stuff. And, you know, honestly, like, if I visit the right places, I'm sure I can find a food that I like. Surely you guys have, like, soups and, like, bread stuff that I can enjoy. But it's certainly not a... It's certainly not a priority visit, a place for me to visit at any point. If I was well traveled and I ran out of places to go, then I'd be like, yeah, we can go to Europe. I'd probably visit the usual places first, though, like the UK, maybe Spain, because I think Spain's got a good food scene, like with the seafood stuff, and like wherever else. I think France might have good food, but I've heard that going to France isn't that great, so I don't know if I would make it out there. Yeah, France. But I heard the people in France, like... Well, I know that they have, like, their own culture of, like, being, like... rude? Smarmy? I forget. I forget the stuff that I've read. They smell? That's mean. I don't want to say that. I don't know if they smell. I could be wrong about that. But it's just not a... It's not something I think about really ever. Especially right now. Right now, traveling is not something I'm thinking about. I've done my traveling for the year. I have no interest in going anywhere. Gotta be saving my monies. I have a mortgage to pay. I'm just patiently waiting for the weather to maybe one day cool down. Which probably won't happen for another, like, 5 months. So I can go back out and do stuff without feeling like I'm gonna die from the heat. Which, man, yesterday I was in a tank top and shorts and I was sweating my fucking tits off. And all I did was just go to the library to return some books and borrow some books. Which has been another thing that I've put in my rotating, like, routine. Originally, I was gonna try to borrow some books that are like fiction, like novels. But I found that because I'm so busy with video games, I don't have the time to really delve into a fucking novel by the time I need to return it. So I've been borrowing just some graphic novel stuff. The last one I borrowed. The last one I borrowed was a manga called Mermaid Scales and the Town of Sand, which was a fun read. It's about a young girl who her dad brought her to go live with her grandmother in a rural town, She's like interested in finding out about like mermen. And she's just meeting some new friends and stuff happens. It's called Mermaid Scales and the Town of Sand. Mermaid Scales and the Town of Sand. I think. But it's a cute little comic. Very sweet. I feel like this is a default that I do. I just draw the same t-shirts. Put on something different. Let's put something different on you. Girly, lady, person of interest. I say that, but I don't know what people wear. What do people wear? What if I just draw a squiggle, will that help me? If I draw a squiggle, will that help me? No. If I squiggle, will that help me? I'm ready for my haircut. Okay. I don't know. What do people wear? What do people wear? I guess it doesn't help. I don't plan anything when I like do drawing streams because it's just for me it's just a matter of like just trying to yap while I put something on paper. Maybe if I drew more I could think of something. But like I was looking at my old drawings. What was I looking through? I was looking back on Blue Sky. Like all the drawings that I did when I was doing the monthly drawing stuff. Like last year or 2 years ago. I forget how long it's been, but looking at all the doodles I did there, I was like, damn. How did I have the energy to draw this? Where's that energy now? How similar are your old drawings to your current ones theme-wise? Hard to say since I don't draw anything now. I think back then, when I was doing the monthly drawings, I had like some vague ideas for stories in mind because I was always like telling myself, well, I have to draw something. So that's usually how a lot of back then, that's usually how like a lot of doodles came to be, is that I'll have like a random story idea in mind and then it'll like I'll just want to draw some aspects of it and then I'll be like, okay, moving on. But I don't think anymore. I have no creative bone in my body anymore. So that's why I just draw a lot of nondescript girls, because that's just default. They all just end up looking the same anyway. And you would think with all the art that I look at daily on like Twitter and Instagram and stuff that I would remember some things and just keep have some inspiration. But no. Because once they're out of my face, I just forget everything. I could save, but I don't want to. That's actually what I used to do when I was younger. Whenever I found like an art or like something that I like online, I would save it on my personal folder, and then I would go through the pictures whenever I was like bored or something. I think I usually went through it on like my phone, or back then it was my iPod Touch. I like to go through it and just marvel at the art. But now it's like I don't. I don't. But there's some rare occasions where some days I'll go through an artist like Pixiv, which is like a Japanese like art site, and I go through their old works there, and I'll be like, ah, how nostalgic. But now it's like if I have any free time, I'm spending that time fucking... I don't know. Pokopia, I guess. to draw comics all the time, and nowadays I barely draw a single shape per month. Yeah. Oh, the times when I would draw comics. Oh my god, what a time. And it's funny, the last art and chat I did, I wrote me working on a manga that I'm gonna abandon in 3 days. And lo and behold, it's been abandoned. I can't stay committed to an idea. I just lose interest and move on to something else. Maybe if I look at it again, I'll be like, yeah, I can pick this back up, but I have no interest in looking at it right now. So sad. Watch any interesting streamers lately? No. But I did, something that was worth noting was I saw 𝓼𝓵𝓸𝓀𝓮𝓭 a few days ago. He played a game called 𝓻𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻? 𝓻𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻? Is there 𝓻𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓿 or 𝓻𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓿? 𝓻𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓿? Or 𝓻𝓮𝓿𝓮 or something like that? It's like a little point and click game, but it's so good. Like, the music in that game is really fucking awesome. The premise of it is also good too. It kind of gives off the similar vibe to 𝓻𝓪𝓲𝓷 in that wackiness type of feel. I think it was called 𝓻𝓮𝓿𝓮𝓻. The main character is like a little white it's like a little guy that kind of looks like something from Homestar Runner. Just like a white circle for a head with a red cap, I think. Yes, with red cap. Yes. It is so good. It's such a good game, and it has the music in it is so good. Strong recommendation. I myself cannot play it because there's like combat in it where you have to fight things, and I don't want to deal with that. But if it weren't for that, I would play the game myself. Because 𝓼𝓵𝓸𝓀𝓮 had gotten one ending in the game. The game has multiple endings, and I'd like to see more. But he said he was gonna be playing that off stream or he's gonna be watching his fiance play it off stream, so he's gonna be seeing the other endings through him. And I'm like, no. So I gotta find someone else to watch play. It's so good. The music in that game is so good. That shit was such a bop. It's got like some fun quirky stuff, but it also has some like fun spooky scary stuff. Play it, you coward? No, I don't want to deal with that combat that I saw them go through. No, thank you. Not interested. I already have too many. I still have too many games I need to play. I'm never gonna be able to get to it. I'm too focused on Pokopia. I think I've also recently, when drawing stuff, I've defaulted a lot to the same hairstyle too. I'm like running out of hairstyles. Which doesn't matter because at some point everyone fucking runs out of hairstyles. Everyone has to draw the same fringes, the same parts and everything. I need to diversify the things that I draw. Or what I did for Professor Layton drawing I did recently, it was already a huge huge deviation from what I usually draw, since every time I draw anybody it's just them standing. Professor Layton. Oh, level 5. Why did you have to resort to going to AI with Professor Layton? I can't buy your game. Just get it. I won't judge you. It's not about what you're. It's not about how you're gonna feel about me. My feelings towards it has nothing to do with how other people are gonna feel about me. It's funny too because the Professor Layton games is also not gonna be like a big game, like not gonna be one of those games that everyone's gonna buy immediately to start playing. I mean, there's obviously gonna be some people that are gonna do it, but just because of the nature of the game, it's not gonna be one of those games that like big streamers or big like content creators are gonna be like, oh, we're playing this game, it's a friend swap game, or like, oh, it's the next best thing, it's 𝓼𝓵𝓸𝓀𝓮 or 𝓼𝓸𝓾𝓷𝓀. Although that's probably just due to the fact that that's what I watch. I guess most of the time, I'm not. There's probably a community somewhere out there that's gonna be the first. Be like, I'm gonna be the first to play the Professor Layton game. Woo! I'll probably do that like if there's a new Ace Attorney game, which who knows? Who knows if that's gonna happen? The newest Professor Layton game. I guess the newest one, technically, in terms of, like, not remakes, was the Spirit of Justice one. Which, I do remember that was pretty good. Have to play that at some point. What did I last play? Oh, I played Trials and Tribulation last game. Oh, and I did Dual Destiny. I guess the next one would be Spirit of Justice if I don't play the Miles Edgeworth games. I think at that point, I think in that case, I'd probably play Spirit of Do I play Spirit of Justice? Probably. Probably would. I probably would like to get through Spirit of Justice because it's been so long since I played that one. Even though it's gonna be a while before I play it since I still have to play Paranormal Sight. God, games. I think I told myself at one point that I would consider just filming some Let's Plays without streaming it. And then that didn't happen because I was too busy with Pokopia. Yeah. At least I'm getting some mileage out of that game. And I know that they also released a new DLC for that game. Although I'm probably gonna hold off on buying any DLCs for Pokopia. It's odd how hesitant you are to play Pokopia on stream. Like I said, a lot of it is just brain turn off. The way I play the game is I just shut my brain off and I just have videos playing in the background or music playing in the background while I'm like mindlessly breaking rocks, collecting resources, and just saying hi to Pokemon. I mean, if you're a good content creator, you can make it fun. You can make it a fun time. But for me, I'm probably just gonna be like, whenever I play Pokopia, I'm very much just like, You do this, and you get a little bit of drool coming out of me, and I'm just like, My eyes looking in two different directions, and it's just me saying, I need more play. Just that. And a lot of times, even when I'm playing it, I find myself just kind of like rolling around and not even getting anything done because I'm just like overwhelmed with the things that I can do. And I'm just like, what do I focus on first? What do I focus on first? And then, like, before I know it, a new Pokemon has shown itself, and I'm like, wow, I gotta find a home for them now before they fucking hate this place. And I'm like, but I have to do this. Oh, I still have to do this, but I haven't done this. And oh my god, there's not enough dirt blocks in the sky for me to build things. Oh my god, there's a finite amount of resources. Like, oh my god, and there's this I had to do, and it's like, oh my god, I have to build this. Oh my god, I don't have enough of this. Oh my god. Have you met 𝓼𝓵𝓀𝓬𝓭 yet? Yes, I have. He was one that I had to find for story progression at some point in one area. He's not important to me. The only the Pokemons that I've really grown to like love in the game has been I like Bulbasaur. And then I really like Lucario and no. It's not Gardevoir. It's the male version. It's the I don't remember his name. But the reason why I like Lucario and him are because they both have the same mannerisms where they're very polite in the way they talk and present themselves, and I'm like, they're very cute. I want them to protect me if anything happens to me. But, yeah, it's good times. Good times. Right now, aside from trying to build homes and stuff, I'm trying to make some progress in the level that I unlocked semi-recently. It's like a sky island or something like that. And I'm also trying to, like, deal with all the habitats and unlock all the Pokemons that are available, even though I don't fucking have homes for all of them. Even though, I guess, technically speaking, they don't need to be in homes. There are some Pokemon, as long as you put up decorations and, like, give them the things that they want and all that stuff, they're pretty happy if they don't, even if they don't have, like, a fucking roof over their head. But in my head, I'm like, if this Pokemon has a house, if this Pokemon gets to live in a house, then surely everybody gets to live in a house, right? But in my head, I'm like, well, Pokemon like Froakie and Frogadier, they're like frogs, and they probably want to be near the water, but I can't make a house out of water. So then I have to, like, build this house in a cave wall area by the water, so they can have a house by the water, but it looks like shit. And, like, if I can make a house out of moss, that'd be cool, but, like, they don't care. They don't really care, because for them, they still would rather sleep on a bench outside. You could put the fluffiest bed in the home and have all these extravagant things inside the house, but they'll still look for, like, a straw bed on the floor to sleep on. And I'm like, you know what? I guess that, you know, that's fair. Do they speak like normal polite, or verily they have the way of the tongue of past year? I have no idea what you just said. They have, like, different personalities, the Pokemon. It's not as, like, limited as, like, in Animal Crossing New Horizons, where they had, like, only 4 personality types. In Pokemon, they have, like, a couple of more. They have more than 4. You do get some repeats, but, like, it's a nice diversity of personalities. You have some that are, like, a little bit shy. You have some that are timid. You have some that are very, like, rah, I can do this and do that, da, 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 da. And then you have the ones that are very polite, like Lucario and Gavinier, whatever his name is. And he had the very, very super polite, feminine-like ones where they're like, oh, what is it, sweetie? It's like, oh, indubitably, and blah, 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 and all that stuff. And I'm like, that's cool. I will say, it does not look like my favorite Pokemon is in the game. Or if they're... Actually... Oh, never mind. I don't remember what generation the game... I don't know what... I don't remember what generation my favorite Pokemon is in. And I also don't know for sure if they are or not in this game. I would rather find out on my own when the time comes. So I don't want to say anything more. Heaven forbid someone spoils Pokopia for me. That would be the worst day of my life. I suppose this is the most I'm going to be drawing. Ooh, my tummy hurts. I wonder if it's because of that potentially expired butter mochi. Who knows? I suppose it's better than eating diarrhea lettuce. Now they're having fucking recalls for jalapenos here now too. Which I wasn't eating jalapenos to begin with, but there are some foods that have jalapenos that I do eat. Oh wait, I just bought a bag of chips that's jalapeno flavored. That's probably fine. Hurting how bad? It's not that bad. If anything, it's probably just gas. Probably gassy. How much time do you use for infrastructure in Pokopia? Infrastructure in like what sense? Like does building houses count as infrastructure? Because if so, then I'm spending most of my time doing that, to be honest. Most of my time is building infrastructure, is like building homes and like clearing out some of the broken blocks or like trying to fix up the roads and stuff. And then the other part is just like me collecting resources and saying hi to friends and also getting new Pokemon and developing like habitats so that new Pokemon can come out, kind of thing. I would like to spend more time on the roads and stuff to make more clear pathways and have like a proper whole ass town, but unfortunately, with the way I played the game in the beginning, where I started building houses, I kind of built like random shit and stuff in random areas. So like, trying to like relocate a lot of the houses takes a lot of time. I should start demolishing them. Placing blocks is tile by tile, unfortunately. You can't place multiple tiles at once. There's some like power-ups where you can destroy multiple things at once, or there's some power-ups where you can grow multiple like grass blocks, like not grass blocks, but grass in general. You can grow like 4 at a time, kind of thing. Or if you're using water, at some point you learn how to like spit out water, like to make like rivers and shit. That's cool. And then you can get around quicker by using a roll move where you can turn into a Graveler and you roll around. That's fun. I abused the hell out of that. And then at one point you can find a Lapras, and then she teaches you how to surf, and you can go swimming around as a Lapras in the water, so you don't have to worry about drowning, and you could travel large places in water. But then she became her ability became kind of almost obsolete now because the new DLC that they released had an update where now you don't have to worry about drowning ever again, because now when you're underwater, you automatically get like a little air bubble. So you can now build things underwater. Well, I guess the surf ability is not completely useless. It's only useless if you were relying on that to not drown when you're building stuff. But I guess you're still using surf to like get around like large bodies of water. At least you can't drown anymore. Because at one point I was fixing like this one area that had broken water, like Minecraft shit, except much more convoluted. And I was drowning it every fucking 4 seconds, like multiple times, like 20 times. And I was like, how the fuck? I'm just trying to fix this water shit. I ended up fixing it, but, you know, it was still very inconvenient at the time. This music isn't from Pokopia, but it does kind of give me the same similar vibes as Pokopia. Now I miss Pokopia. I could be playing Pokopia. I could be playing Pokopia right now. I'm kidding. Actually, if I wasn't streaming right now, would I be playing Pokopia? I'd either be playing Pokopia or I'd be editing a video. I've been trying to edit a video, which was initially just meant to be a test edit, because for a while, DaVinci Resolve, the editing program that I had been using, was like not really working for me. It was constantly like lagging my computer, like my entire computer, really badly. It was lagging in a really weird way too. It made it so that my computer made it seem like it was running on like 10 frames in general. Like everything was running on 10 frames, like my mouse and everything. So editing was like not possible. But then Chris, being tech support that he is, suggested that I uninstall and reinstall the program. Which I saw now that if you were to try to download DaVinci Resolve, you have to give your personal information. Like your name, your address, your phone number, and all that stuff. And I was like, why do I need to give you all this? Why do you need to know where I live? You do not need to know where I live. You're an editing program. And I'm like, I don't want to give you my address. This is after I had already uninstalled the program to try to reinstall it. And I was like, I don't want to give you my address. What am I going to do now? But fortunately, whenever DaVinci Resolve has an update, they'll make you download a new exe, so you can reinstall it or whatever. And I still had one lying around in my downloads folder, so thankfully I didn't have to give all my my personal information. But I was like, damn, what the fuck are you gonna do with all that information for? Like, find where I live? You gonna mail something to my house? You're an editing program. You don't need to know where I live. You don't need to know my phone number. You gonna mail me junk mail? I get more than that. I get more than enough of that already. Anyway, all in all, I've been trying to edit a video, although it's been going alright. But it's not something that I'm like super like happy with just because of how it came out. But whatever. A video's a video, I guess. Has anyone else seen it yet? The video? No. It's nothing special. It was a session of a game that Chris and I played. It's gonna show up on Visnomatic at some point too. Nothing special. I never show anyone my videos while it's still being edited. I don't ask people for advice on my video stuff, because it's not that important that I would need to waste anyone's time reviewing it. Speaking of reviewing, 𝓼𝓵𝓸𝓀 on his Patreon had released the latest cut of his Adobe video that he's been working on for like all my life at this point. He said for the Patreon viewers to go watch it and give feedback and stuff if they need it. I haven't watched it because I still would like to wait for it to publicly be released before I watch it. But that shit is like over 4 hours long, and I was like, damn, dog. But also, yay, dog. There were some nights where I found myself not being able to fall asleep unless I had his pathological video playing in my ear. I was like, I can't fucking sleep because I'm overthinking too much. I need to put on 𝓻𝓵𝓸𝓀𝓮𝓭 guy's pathologic video and have it playing so that I can fall asleep. I become one of those people. One of those people that fall asleep to their favorite YouTubers and shit. Now it's been okay. I've been able to sleep okay. I don't necessarily need it. It's just like when your mind starts running amok. I need to have something distracting me so I don't end up overthinking like a bunch of shit. Once I start overthinking too much stuff, then that's when I can't sleep. But it is nice just hearing him talk about pathologic. Even though I've watched the video like over 30 times at this point. Still my favorite video of his. Sorry? You have to go to your parents' house to sleep because it's so bad here? Bad here in what? Like the heat? I know that Europe... I know that Europe had been dealing with like the heat waves and stuff. This is more so wondering like why you've been having to, what's been so bad here that you haven't been people messing around. Oh, I see. Neighbors. It's annoying. Oh, it's 6:12. Should be okay. Go a little bit longer. Not that I'm doing anything important. But I like how this girl turned out, so I want to finish doing something. My god. Maybe next year I'll set up the thing, the monthly drawing thing again, so I can get some stuff done, even if it's nothing much. The lack of interest that I have when it comes to drawing over like any other of my other hobbies has been very sad for me, especially since I was such an art kid. Seeing all those old sketchbooks, all my old art, I'm like, oh my god, I'm a completely different person now. I might not be depressed as much anymore, but shit, am I fucking boring. You make drawing look so effortless. Thank you! Bruh, even though it does take a lot of fucking effort. It takes a lot, it's just because the things that I draw is just things that I draw that don't take effort. If you ask me to draw a man, or if you ask me to draw a Pokemon, that's when it'll take effort. That's when I struggle. But I have been drawing girls like all my life. Insane stuff. It all started because my elementary school best friend was drawing and I wanted to be just like her. So I drew with her. And before I knew it, it's just all I had. And then gaming came along, and then I threw drawing to the side. I threw drawing to the side. I threw drawing art to the side, and I'm like, pshaw, I don't need you. I have video games. I was when I went to the library yesterday, and I was browsing through the graphic novel section, just looking for comics to like check out and read and stuff. I saw some that were like I never heard of before, and there was like the art itself was like so like simple. Like some of them were simple and nice, and then some of them were like simple and like shitty looking, lackluster, and it's not something I would particularly ever read. And I'm just like, you know, if people like this can put out a comic and get it published and show up in libraries and stuff for people to peruse, and I'm like, what? You know, there was a time where I probably could have done that in my youth. And now it's like... the economy. The economy. Oh well. Oh, not to mention AI stuff. People are probably making a bunch of comics using AI. Just like how they're making... people are writing books with AIs too. Who cares? Who cares? Well, there's probably a lot of people that care, actually. You know? Plenty of people care. But in the end... if capitalism doesn't care... then we don't have the space and time to care. Please. I contemplated asking my old coworker at my old job place. He's like, yo, are they making you... are they forcing you to use AI? If not, are y'all hiring? I feel like, please. Maybe my life will be so much more difficult if I go back to working at my old job. Because I have to go back into the office every day and potentially work weekends. But at least I won't be forced to use AI, right? Right? At least with the old job. Well, actually, I don't know if that's true. I was gonna say my old company I used to work at. At least with them, I don't have to worry about job like instability. I don't think there would be a concern of me losing my job as long as I was doing my job. But this current job that I have, I wouldn't be the first to go, or the second, or the third, or the fourth, or the fifth. I would probably be the one to go if, heaven forbids, the company had to shut down or something like that. But God, demands, God, so over it. So many people have left as of late. No. No one has left. No one has left the company as of late. Oh no. Well, I left as in like quitting. They haven't quit. But every year, if it feels like there's no need to have certain people on board, or if you feel like you're not performing well enough, they will let you go. It's not a company that will keep you around just because you're like harmless, and even though you're not a good worker or like not the best worker, you can get let go for that. Actually, at this current company that I work at, an old coworker of mine was let go earlier the year because she wasn't performing well enough at her duty. So she got replaced by someone else. And this was her first job out of college. And despite her not really like not really fitting it or not really deserving of it, they had promoted her to manager of a department, even though she was very much not ready for it or not very good at it. And she wasn't really the type that could fake it either. Her performance just was lacking. It's not what they wanted. So then they hired someone originally to be her assistant, and then he ended up like outperforming her in various ways, and was also better at just like better at sucking up to the boss and stuff. So then she ultimately got let go in the beginning of the year, and then she took a break for a little bit from working and just like kind of just relaxed. And she started job hunting more seriously, like semi-recently, because she told me she asked me if she could use me as a reference for job applications and stuff. And I told her that I told her that she can use me, because the day that she had the day she was let go, I emailed her being like, yo, if you need someone for a reference, just let me know. Even though, to be honest, objectively speaking, I don't think she's really good at her. I don't think she was very good at her job. Because she was just somebody that was kind of like a yes man. And she was like... she was detail-oriented, I guess? Like, there were some, like, pros to her, but, like, majority of her, like, stuff that she did in the positions that she was in, she wasn't really suited for it. But she was alright. She was fine. There were some things about her in terms of her work performance and her work ethics that I didn't really care for. But she wasn't a bad person. But it's funny because when she said that she wanted to use me as a reference, and she was like saying, like, just let you know, there's a chance that they might call you and stuff. I'm like, okay. I mean, chances are I'm not gonna pick up if a random number calls me, but like, if you want to give me a heads up that they might call, then like, sure. But it's funny because she was like saying, like, you know, on the phone call, if they ask you anything, then she listed out things for me to say to them. And I'm like, why are you telling me what to say? It's like, shouldn't I come up with my own conclusions on how I feel about you as a worker? Why are you trying to feed me the info? I'm like, and also half the info was like, I didn't really believe that. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not gonna say all that. I'll just say what I believe. And, you know, we'll let your potential employer decide if you're suited for the role or not. I'm like, what the fuck? But she's, I feel bad for her because even though they put her as a manager, like a manager position when she was working at my company, she is very much not suited to be a manager in whatever new job she's looking for. So she's trying to look for a new job in that same position or that same pay. She's not gonna be able to find one that will take her based on how her work performance is. I mean, she could fake it. She might be able to pretend to, but whatever. In this economy, regardless of what position she's gonna look for, it's gonna be tough. It's because it's one of the departments that gets affected by AI and stuff. Yeah, haha, yay, haha, yay, haha, yay. AI here to ruin the day. Excuse me. It's also very interesting knowing that the development of AI has made it so that people are getting laid off and losing their jobs and everything. But then people in their lives or people around them or they themselves are still going to be utilizing AI to do things for themselves and stuff. Just thinking about how I know somebody whose partner lost their job. They were laid off because of that stuff. But then their partner heavily relies on AI for a lot of things that they do because it's so much easier for them. And I'm like, you know, you're you know what? Good for you. Any positives from the use to you personally now that you've had to? Personally, I still don't use it. Using it for my work solely, there's some aspects and I'm like, yeah, I can see why people use it. I mean, I always knew that. I knew it would help to generate things like easier without having to you know, coordinate with other people to get certain things done in a certain way. Yeah, it makes things look, maybe it makes things look a little bit better, makes things a little bit easier. But the heavy dependency on it makes it so that, like, at that point, the person that we're relying on things that we were originally relying on for stuff like this, you know, they're not gonna get any better because now they're gonna be doing subpar work, and then I'm expected to fix everything in AI. It's like, it's more work for me, and then they're still getting paid the same. That's so selfish of me to say. But that's the problem. The problem is that being a creative person, or like rather, my job is technically on the creative side. And then the person I work with is also on the creative side, and they've been in the business longer than I have. But for them to be openly like, you know, not pro AI, but they've openly like embraced it and they use it for their work, even though their work, but because they're using AI, that also means that they could easily be replaced by AI. And I'm already having to do a lot of their stuff that they would do with AI, and I'm like, why are you like enabling this sort of thing? I like, obviously my company is gonna do whatever they want, regardless of how this creative person feels or not. But like, the fact that you're making it so that you're not like you're not fully like, you're valuable, like a valued employee, and that you know can't be replaced, but you're letting yourself openly use this uh this app, this program, so that you can be replaceable. It's like, why are you like openly okay with it, kind of thing. I don't know. It's hard to explain because I don't want to give too much out. Did you actually ask or speculate there? No, because I know it's a losing conversation, because my company has become so pro AI now. Even yesterday when I started the office opened back up, so we started going back to the office. Well, I'm still going in only once a week, but whatever. And my boss spent like, he spent like 5 minutes complaining about how he was using some AI program to do stuff. I forget what it was. It's something coding related, I think. And he was like, this program is now starting to limit how much uses I could use of it, and blah blah blah. I'm like, I'm so bad, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh my god. And I get it makes things very helpful. I get why people are so enticed by it. It's just that knowing the cost it takes to use it, and how it's affecting everything in the long run, and even in the short run, it's affecting so many things. Just the long-term damage it's gonna cause to people when it comes to like, you know, the use of water, the use of electricity, how it's affecting like kids in school when it comes to doing school work. People aren't doing their own work anymore. They're using AI to do their work for them. They're graduating schools proudly exclaiming that they use AI to pass college and all that stuff. The use of AI to apply for jobs, the use of AI to filter out job applicants so that you can be rejected immediately just because you didn't dot your I's or something like that. It's like there's just like myriad factors of relying on AI to do so much, and then not having like human input to make sure that it's filtering out things the right way or something like that. I don't know. There's just a lot of aspects to it. It's just the way it's being used and the way we power it. There's like better ways to do it that, while it might take longer and it's not as like resourceful in terms of like it's not as easy to do, in the sense that like the fact that they use clean water to run data centers and stuff to power AI, and you can't use like seawater or something, or use it, or like, you know, use something that doesn't require tapping into clean water that people need to like survive. It's kind of like, you know, it's lazy of them. It's easier for them, but it's also like bad for us, kind of thing. I don't know. My opinions, they're there. I just can't articulate them right now very well. But it's a losing conversation no matter what, because people, no matter who, they're gonna be like, yay AI, yay AI. You can be all like AI bad all you want, but in the end, once we start running out of clean water, once our electricity bills fucking double in price, or when people can't afford computers anymore, you know, why not ask? Because it's a losing fight, I said. The people in my company, especially my bosses, are very pro AI. Asking is not going to do anything. And the person that I work with, he's also the same mentality. It's like, we got to get with the program. You got to, you know, anything that evolves, you got to be able to adapt. Otherwise, you're going to fall behind. So I was trying to finish this up, but then I realized that something was off, and now I've completely ruined the drawing. What did it look like before? Is this off-centered? Oh well. Maybe I'll just leave it like that. Yeah, I get that it makes things efficient and it costs time. It cuts down on the time spent on doing things. I get the pros to it. I just wish it could be powered in a more resourceful and not resourceful, but in a more like environmentally friendly way. And then I just hate that it's just gonna make people just a little bit more stupider because they're so heavily reliant on it to do things that they should be doing on themselves anyway. But you can't expect much from us peoples. Anyway, that's it for the stream. I gotta go prep dinner stuff. For a little stream. It would be nice if I could stream this weekend, but who knows how it's gonna be. If I stream again, I will mention it. It's already a little bit busy for me, but work is only gonna get busier with time as the days come. But we'll see how I feel. Excuse me. No, you're good. You're good. Just trying to have a. It's a conversation. It's a debate. You know, not a debate. Just a discussion to be had. It is what it is. I wish I could just articulate better sometimes, but when you're multitasking, I fucking can't get my thoughts across. And it's also starting to get hot, and also my tummy still hurts a little bit. And I got dinner to prep. So that's it. I got a drawing out. Hopefully I could get more done. Who knows? You'll see me when you see me. I will announce it whenever. But until then, lovely drawing. Thank you. Until then, have a good rest of the day. Have a good rest of the night. I will see you when I see you again. Hopefully within a week. Hopefully not longer than 3 weeks like this time. And tune in to your favorite content creator and hope that they don't use AI for everything. Okay, bye.